Right, we've got an interview now with one of the guitar gods, John Norum. Hi John, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah. Okay John, I'd like to ask you about your career. At what age did you start to play guitar and who were you influenced by?
I started around, I was about 11 or 12 years old when I started. And my influences are Gary Moore, Michael Schenker, Richie Blackmore, that's about it.
I was going to sing Graham Malmsteen then, weren't you?
No, I wasn't. Mainly Gary Moore, I think.
Yeah. Why Gary Moore?
I just love the stuff he did with Lizzie and stuff. I'm a big Lizzie fan, And he just plays with, a lot of feeling, It's very aggressive, which I like.
What about the other Thin Lizzy guitar players like John Sykes and Scott Gorham?
Yeah.
Were they influenced by any of those?
Scott was actually quite a big influence.
Right.
Yes, that's true. Scott was a big influence. He even had the same kind of guitar that he had for a while. Yeah.
Yep. What about
not Sykes though, not really. I mean, he came in later on.
Right.
But no, that's about it.
What about Brian Robertson? He was like Thin Lizzy, weren't they?
Yeah.
Snowy Shore.
Yeah, it was. I think mainly Scott Gorham, I should say then.
Right.
First of all, Gary Moore, but then Scott Gorham.
Yeah.
Because I liked the man with the long hair. I saw him a bunch of times in Sweden, and I thought he was great. He was really good in the 70s,
Right. So
later on he started using, a Strat and Floyd Rose and all that kind of stuff, which I'm not a big fan of that kind of stuff.
What, the Strat stuff?
Yeah.
You don't like Strat guitars?
Yeah, I do, but I don't like it, they use the whammy bar all the time and that kind of thing, which he does these days. I mean, he never bends any strings anymore. He just
boring.
Yeah, he's just kind of all the vibrato that he does is with a bar now these days. And it's kind of boring. It doesn't have as much emotion as when you do it with your fingers,
So what was your first guitar that you bought? Can you remember which guitar you had?
Yeah, I remember. It was an Arbiter.
Never heard of them.
That's a Japanese copy.
Oh yeah.
It's like a Strat copy.
Oh, yeah.
Actually an SG copy.
Right.
Yeah.
You still have it?
No.
What happened to it?
I don't. I can't remember. Such a long time ago, No, I probably painted it and sold it, Yeah, I did that to a lot of guitars and stuff. I wonder what it would look like if it was blue, that kind of things you do when you're a kid,
Yeah, so what got you into rock music then? Was it somebody in your family or did you just...
Yeah, it was my mom.
Yeah?
Yeah, she was a guitar player too.
Right.
And she got me into Elvis and that kind of thing. To listen to her old Elvis records and everything, And later on the Beatles, and I was very much into David Bowie, the 70s stuff too,
Yeah.
The early stuff, Mick Ronson.
Yeah, my girlfriend likes,
No, David Bowie's like all-time hero.
What songs do you like by David Bowie then?
Everything from Aladdin. How do you say that? Aladdin Sane? Aladdin Sane? Aladdin Sane? Aladdin Sane. Aladdin Sane. With the flash.
Oh yeah. The cover, yeah, I know the cover you mean, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and of course Ziggy Stardust, I mean, I love every song. There's not a one bad song on this album.
Right.
I don't think. I mean, I was very into that. But I listened to a vocalist more at the time. The guitar was more just a kind of to strum away to be able to sing, sing along with the Elvis and the David Bowie songs, And later on, I think the first guitar solo that I ever learned, when I started getting into guitar solos, was actually Richie Blackmore,
right?
And Made in Japan. Strange Kind of Woman,
right?
When they do the trade-up thing.
Yeah.
That's actually the first guitar solo that I learned.
Was it hard for you to learn?
It's like when I got that down, I was like,
Was it hard for you to learn that then?
I've been playing for not a couple of years, but yeah, it took a little while, But I was very ambitious when I was younger, so.
Right. What did you?
Keep, going back and forth. Oh, what is that?
Yeah.
On the vinyl, constantly scratching up all the records, all the time. So that's how it started.
So what did your family think of you playing guitar? Did you get a lot of your father and your brother saying turn the noise down, or?
Yeah, my father did, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said you should get a real job, that kind of thing,
You won't be saying that now, though, is it?
Yes, but my mom was very supportive.
Yeah.
Very supportive, and she bought She bought me later on a real guitar, Gibson Les Paul Deluxe, Marshall amplifier, and we used to actually rehearse, in our apartment, our mom's apartment, which was pretty amazing because we had neighbors everywhere. But we had we went around to all the neighbors and got, asked them if it was all right. We can rehearse between a certain time a day, and it was okay. We had the drums and everything, and in a big, apartment building. It's very loud. So she was very supportive.
Cool. Can we do the rest of the interview over there? It's a bit. Oh, John, can you remember the first band you was in? What they were called? Yeah.
The first band, they were called. First band.
You're going to say you can't remember, right? Because it's an embarrassing name.
Yeah, I just try. I know the names, but I just try to get them in the right order. The first one was, I think it's called Dragonfly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was the first one.
Did you actually record anything?
No. Just home recordings, like one of these things, we recorded, we rehearsing, but we didn't do any real recordings, no.
Right.
No.
What about other bands? Did you actually practice when you was at school? Did you have a school band where you learnt to play?
Yes, we did actually.
Yeah?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah?
Playing in school, after school and stuff. We got a little rehearsal place.
What did you play when you was at school? What sort of music, cover songs did you do?
Just cover songs, everything from, Sex Pistols to Deep Purple.
I can't imagine you doing Sex Pistols, God Save the Queen.
I love Sex Pistols.
Really?
Oh yeah, I did when I was young. I had a period where actually I was totally into punk.
I can't imagine you with the Mohican.
Oh yeah, I had the whole, the whole deal, yeah.
Yeah?
Oh yes, playing a lot of, and all the English bands that was at the time, around the punk thing.
Yeah?
I listened a lot. But it went pretty quick. It was like 1 year or 2 years, and then I moved on. It started with hard rock,
Yeah.
Actually, I have to mention that another big influence was UFO, No Heavy Petting.
My friend, one of my best friends, his uncle used to manage him.
Really?
Will Fright.
Mm-hmm.
He used to manage him.
Yeah, that's great.
So.
Yeah, that's one of the songs that we did too from No Heavy Petting. We did.
Heavy Petting, the Scottish band.
No, UFO, the album.
All right.
No Heavy Petting.
Right, sorry, go ahead.
When they have the tubes running through the throats and stuff. The one we covered from that album was Natural Thing and Reasons Love or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember really at the time. But, it was everything from that to punk, and, everything that was around at the time, really.
Do you ever think of doing like a punk classic album? You ever thought of doing a cover album? You're saying that used to be into punk. You ever thought of actually doing cover songs or punk songs? Or do you think people will laugh and go,
no,
John Norum doing punk?
No.
No.
A lot of people ask me, about, if I wanted to do like a cover album just with Lizzie tracks.
Yeah.
But I think it's enough to just do one on each album.
Because you did that Thin Lizzy tribute album, didn't you? There was, is it SCM Records or something?
Something like
that.
Some
Swedish label on there. Yeah, got it.
Yeah, I did one song on there. It wasn't very good, but I've done some other cover songs which are better.
So how did you hook up with the guys from Europe
then? I just had the hot, spicy American food over there. I'm cooking. Yeah, no, this American Italian place around here, just around the corner.
You'll have bad guts tonight.
Oh man, it was hot, very hot.
So how do you hook up with the guys from Europe then? What age was you when you started playing for Europe?
I was probably about 16.
You're the original guitar player then?
Yeah. I started that band actually.
Right.
With the drummer.
Yeah.
The original drummer, Tony Reno. He's played on the first 2 albums.
Right.
And then the bass player came in, John Levin. He was actually playing guitar at the time. But I said, if you want to join the band, you have to, play bass.
Right.
Otherwise, you're not going to get the gig,
Yeah, right.
that type of thing, So he started playing bass, and he still plays bass to this day, And so Joey was he was the last member that came in. Because I saw him with another band, cover band. Doing Beatles songs and Elton John stuff, and all kinds of, more poppy kind of stuff. And so we saw him, he was playing the bass, and he was singing. I thought, well, this guy's really good, So we got him as a singer,
Yeah.
And after that, we started doing some demos and things, and started doing some local gigs, and then we won this rock contest in Sweden. Was the first prize was to make an album.
Right. This was CBS.
And the first one was actually Hot Records.
Right.
Yeah. It was a guy from CBS that left CBS
okay,
and had his own record company.
Right.
So we won this rock contest in Sweden, and that was in I think it was in '82.
Right.
And
how old was you in '82 then? How old was you? Right.
I was 17 at the time.
I was 12. So
Yes.
5 years older than me.
Yes, I'm 37 now.
Yeah.
I'm getting old. I'm too old for this heavy metal stuff.
Do you still keep in touch with the guys from Europe then? You ever see anything of them?
Sometimes, yeah.
You ever thought of doing a reunion?
Well, we did a little reunion thing in Millennium 2000.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we did. I don't know if you heard about it.
No, was it televised on TV or something?
Yeah.
Yeah?
It was very big. In Sweden, at least, it was very big. Yeah, it was. We had like the biggest crowd we ever played to. 700,000 people.
Wow.
Saw it there in the city, you know.
Yeah.
With big screens and everything all over the place in the city, and small speakers that you can listen to. So we did 2 songs, Rock Tonight and Final Countdown. Right before the,
That
12
was the first
o'clock.
time I actually heard Europe when you did Final Countdown, because at the time it was televised on English TV, and everybody was talking about, have you heard this band Europe doing the Final Countdown? And it was just like so cool, but looking at it now, everybody laughs and thinks it's so cheesy, but it's you know what I mean? It was just, at the time, not many people in England knew you had albums before that.
Right.
And then we heard Europe, and it was just like really good stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So what happened to you? You left the band for what reason? What did you leave Europe for? I mean,
I was with them for like 6 years altogether.
right.
And it's just, it was just crazy, with the management and everything. They were just stealing all our money. The usual story, like getting ripped off by the manager, blah, blah, blah. The normal stuff,
Yeah.
I've had enough. And the people also, some people change, as soon as they have a success, their heads like explode,
Well, it's been like Joey or...
Joey, all of them, really.
Really, you was the only guy that didn't explode, so you decided
I was
to
the only one. I was really the only one that, because I looked at myself more like, musician.
Just a normal person like myself.
Yeah,
like, feel like got to your head.
It's just like, and they just got really arrogant and hard to deal with. So screw this, I'm out of here.
At the end of the day.
Yeah.
What did you think of the replacement? The guy who replaced you?
I recommended him as the replacement.
Really?
Yeah.
Was he a guitar tech or something?
No. No, he was a studio guy in Sweden.
Right.
He was doing like a lot of pop studio work and stuff like that. And I couldn't come up with anybody else that would, could do it better,
Right.
So, yeah, he's good. He's very good.
What's he doing now? Because I know some of Europe members went with Glenn Hughes on the From Now On tour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's came from me too.
Right.
That whole thing,
What came first? Was it Glenn played on your solo album, then they all went...
Exactly.
You introduced him to the...
I brought Glenn over to Sweden to do an album.
Face the Truth on it.
Yeah, but this was a little bit before that.
Oh, really?
We tried to do an album, but it didn't work out because Glenn was so messed up.
Right, with his drugs and...
Oh, totally. And he was on drugs and he was really fat, Just couldn't hardly move, He was just gone,
Are you thinking of redoing this album then? Have you asked him to come back and actually try... Now he's better, his vocals and his...
Yeah.
Have you thought of asking him to come back and actually finish it off?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe just having, guests on some tracks and stuff. But I feel very confident now and comfortable also to sing myself.
Yeah. You've got a good voice, man.
Yeah,
voice,
I have a lot of fun with it, It just comes out, It's kind of like, has a little fill in it in there, and it's, David Bowie, whatever, It's just a mix of it all,
I mean, I'd like to have seen you tonight, John Norum band, and then you playing guitar as well for Dokken on the same night. That would have been great.
Yeah.
Would you have done that? Could you handle two sets in one night?
I don't think so.
I know some people have, but it would have been killer to see you play twice on the same night.
Yeah, I think I would actually be able to handle it, but it's kind of like Zakk Wylde is doing right now.
Yeah.
Actually, he's doing Black Label and the Ozfest, and then he does Ozzy later on that same night.
Right.
It's a lot of work, but I could handle it for sure. I'm just not interested though. I like to do just one content and one thing at a time.
Yeah. Right, and so after that you went and did your own career.
Yeah.
Your first album was
Total Control. Yeah.
What was the single on that album? Just off the top of my head, I just can't remember.
The first single was Let Me Love You.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the first? What? Sorry.
Let Me Love You was the first single from that album.
Right. Yeah. Who was the singer for the album?
Oh, the singer, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, I sang most of the stuff.
You had another guy singing, wasn't there? Was somebody else singing?
Yeah, Goran Edman.
Yeah, that's it.
Goran Edman.
England.
Yeah, he sang 3 songs.
What do you think to his sort of vocals?
Yeah, it's all right, you know. But there you go again. I mean, England heard my album and said, I want that guy, you know.
Yeah.
So I introduced a lot of these singers to other people, like Goran and Glenn, you know.
Yeah.
No one knew who Glenn was, you know, until they knew from the Deep Purple days, of course, but they never met him or anything like that. So yeah, he was good, but it's kind of a more high-pitched kind of voice, you know. I'm not too crazy about that, not anymore, anyways.
What do you think to that album then? The first album that you did in solo on? Looking back at it.
Yeah, it's pretty good, you know. Some of the stuff is pretty good. It's not, you know. I listen back to it now. The production, you know, was kind of like it's just really too wet for my taste.
Right.
It's very bright and stuff like that. It wasn't mastered very good, you know. But at the time, this is a long time ago, so yeah, it's all right, you know.
It's quite a hard album to find.
Yeah.
It's not available on British release. You have to like look for it on the internet, and some people are charging a lot of money on that eBay, auction site. It's it's ridiculous. I mean, I really like it, but the second album, that to me, that was the album that really got me into you. Because I like Glenn Hughes. Yeah. And then I heard when you were singing on the album, I heard your album, and I was just like, John Norum is God. It's like this guy is fucking the guitar master. Yeah. Him and Andy LaRocque. It's just like.
Face the Truth is really good, I think.
Yeah. You happy with the way that turned out?
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with most of the stuff on there. Not all of it, but you know, most of the stuff is really good. I think. Yeah. I think that's the best work Glenn has done in a long time.
Because you had Mickey D on one of the songs, didn't you?
Like Mickey D played one song. Yeah.
What do you think of him being a Motorhead? What do you think of him stuff?
I think it's great.
I like it.
He fits Motorhead perfectly.
I think he should have stayed with King Diamond. Personally. Yeah.
I think he fits Motorhead. That's his kind of style, you know, going and cutting down wood, you know. I mean, he's not a drummer that has like swing or groove to him.
It's just like a power drummer.
Yeah, it's just a power drummer. He's a metal drummer, you know.
What do you actually think of his old band, King Diamond? Do you like it?
I was never into it.
What do you think to Andy LaRocque's guitar playing?
I was never into it. I mean, you know, I haven't heard him now, so I don't know.
I'd love to see him do an album with you, like I said. That would be awesome.
You know, it's hard for me to say now because people, you know, hopefully progress and get better, you know, as time goes by. But, you know, at the time, I couldn't listen to it because his vocal, you know.
Yeah, that's what got me a little bit.
I hate his vocal, you know. I just hate people that scream, you know.
Do you like Rob Halford then?
Yeah, I do, but that's a whole different thing.
I see that.
That's a whole different thing.
Right.
When he screams, it's, you know, it's
He's
mad.
more of a character though, King Diamond. It can be like, he's like, you know, 3 different voices in one.
Oh, yeah.
There's not many people who can do that.
That's true.
But, getting back to
Rob Halford is, I mean, he's like, he's God.
You've got to do an album with him. You've got to do an album together.
He's great.
You ever thought of approaching him to do anything?
No, not really, no. We did, when I was in Don Dokken's band, you know, in 1990, 91, we did a tour with the Judas Priest.
Yeah?
Yeah, and it was great. He was amazing.
Nice guys, Priest. Yeah,
he was great. And that's probably one of the only ones that I like screaming. Rob Halford and, you know, old, what's his name again?
Ted Tipton?
No,
Kick It Down.
No, the singer from Deep Purple, the original.
Oh, Dave Coverdale, is it?
No.
Ian
Gillan, exactly.
Right, gotcha.
You know, in the old days.
Yeah.
You know, those were the only guys that I could actually stand screaming. Mm-hmm. But I was always into, you know, like Phil Lynott kind of vocal, you know. Phil Mogg from UFO, you know, more David Bowie. It's a different kind of vocal.
That's what I have to say about your voice. You're very much influenced by Phil Lynott.
Oh, totally.
Definitely. You could hear it in your voice.
Oh, yes.
So how did you learn to sing then after... Because, I mean, your guitar came first, I presume.
No, the vocal came first for me.
Really?
Yeah. I wanted to be a singer to start with. So the guitar was just kind of just playing along to sing, you know, be able to sing, you know.
Because you had a sister as well who did some records, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what sort of music is that?
It's just pop kind of stuff.
Oh, is it? Because I know you did some, like, solo
I played on, like, 3 of her albums I play on.
Right.
Some solo stuff, you know. But, yeah, it's not rock, really. A couple of songs are rock, but... Yeah, she's had a big hits in Sweden. She's been #1 in Sweden many times.
Right, really?
Oh, yeah. She's been very big over there.
Because, like, when you did your solo career, you was on Shrapnel in some territories. I mean, what did you think of Shrapnel records?
Shrapnel? They're horrible.
Really? I don't know anybody who thinks they're a good label, actually. You can't fuck people around with, like... ship emotion and...
Well, you know, Mike Vaughan has been pretty nice to me, though, you know. But it's just that, you know, it's just a rip-off artist, you know. I mean, he never pays any royalties, you know. If you give him your album, he's like, gone, see ya.
How many albums did you do with him? Was it just Destination Unknown?
I have never done any albums for him.
Right.
But he has distributed.
Right,
you know,
okay, got you.
all of them.
Right.
So he has all of them.
Right.
Which is a disaster, really.
Right.
Because I really have to work hard to get, you know, paid, you know, royalties and stuff. And you're supposed to get paid every 6 months. But with him, if you threaten to sue him, you maybe get paid like every 2 or 3 years, you know, if you're lucky, you know.
Really?
So I don't understand.
You'll never work with him again then?
Never again. It's over. That whole relationship is over.
So how many labels have you been on in your solo career? Was it Epic?
Sony? Well, the first one was CBS Records.
Yeah, CBS, yeah.
And then it turned into Sony.
Yeah.
And then it was Sony. Did a couple of albums with them. And then Mascot, you know.
Who?
Mascot.
Mascot, yeah, the Dutch label.
Yeah.
I know the guys from the label.
Yeah, they're really good.
Yeah, tell them I said hi, you know.
Oh, yeah, they've been very nice to me all the way.
Right.
And, you know, Zero Corporation, Japan.
Yeah. Have you been with Zero since you started doing your first solo album?
No.
I think they're the biggest Japanese label, aren't they? Or one of them.
Yeah, they're not around anymore.
Really?
No, they're gone. And Toshiba EMI.
Yeah.
Sony, of course, is worldwide, you know. So, yeah, it's not that many, you know.
Right. So what would you say was your best-selling album for your solo career?
My best-selling album is the first one.
Really?
Yeah. Because that was directly after, you know, straight after Europe.
Yeah, yeah.
Know? So it was still hot, you know.
Yeah.
It was still bubbling away. And, yeah, it went gold in Sweden immediately.
Right.
It was very big for me over there.
Yeah.
It sold about, I don't know, 300,000 or something like that, which is quite good, you know.
Do you have any tracks on there that you particularly like, and any least favourite sort of songs?
Well, I like, I did a Lizzie cover on that one. I don't know if that one is actually released. Because
Man's a Japanese version. I had to get it in Japanese because it's so hard. Like I say, it's too hard to get hold of.
Yeah,
it's just like
But I did a cover on Wild One, the old Lizzie song, on that, which is really good. And I like Let Me Love You, you know.
That is a good song, man. Just the way it's coming out the beginning with the guitar, just crank it up the solo at the beginning. It's
I really love the guitar sound on that one too.
Yeah.
The guitar sound is great, and the middle solo is amazing. It has a lot of fire, you know.
Yeah.
And I also like Back on the Streets, which Goran sang.
It's kind of a bluesy one, isn't it? It's kind of like a blues feel.
Yeah, exactly. That was actually written by Vinnie Vincent from, you know.
Yeah, my friend was playing it actually the other night at his house, and I think your version's better.
Yeah, oh yes. Oh, yes.
He disagrees. He thinks that Vinnie Vincent's is better than yours, but I disagree. It's like,
no, his version is horrible. It's horrible. No, he was just trying to break a world record or trying to be so fast all the time. It just sounds silly to me, you know. I always try to play after what the song needs. You know? I don't go in and burn like never before on a pop song. It just doesn't go together, you know.
Right.
It just sounds silly to me, you know.
Right.
So that's always been my strong side, I think.
Right.
I always can go whatever the song needs, you know. Even if it's just 3 notes, that's what I'm gonna do, you know.
Right.
So it goes.
So what about least favorite? Do you have like a least favorite album that you've recorded?
My least favorite album is I don't know, you know.
Well, I'll tell you what I think my favorite ones are and least favorite. But I'll wait for you to answer.
Well, I think, you know, Worlds Away and Another Destination, you know, they had some good stuff on there, but it did have some bad stuff too, because the production wasn't very good, you know. The sound of it didn't sound very good.
Do you have your own studio?
No, just a demo studio. I don't record albums, I just do demos.
All right.
Yeah.
Because most musicians like yourself have their own actual studios where they can actually, you know, you never thought of doing that then, you know?
No, I haven't done that. Well, you know, my publishing company, Warner Chappell, they have a studio which I'm going to.
Right.
Which is
Stockholm, is it?
Yeah. It's just around the corner from where I live.
Right. If I ever come to Stockholm, I'll have to give you, know, for a drink or something, you know?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
And I mean, I like to keep it separate. Where I live is like, I don't want to have any music stuff going on there. I want to peace and quiet, you know, and then I can go away to the studio.
Right.
Because I am married and I don't want to bother her, you know.
You have kids as well and stuff?
No kids, unfortunately.
Right.
Not that I know of, anyways. I'm being silly.
I mean, I'd say my two favourite albums that I've done is Destination Unknown. But it's so like heavy blues. It's a really detuned guitar sound.
Yeah.
The one with Glenn Hughes. The least favourite is probably the one with Kelly Keel on it.
Yeah.
I'm not really struck on his vocals.
Yeah.
I think he's a bit.
Yeah.
That's why I'd like to see you do another album with you singing again.
Oh, I will, definitely.
You know.
I will sing it all on the next one.
So are you actually with Mascot now then? He's staying with Mascot.
Yeah, I'm going to stay with them.
What do you think they've done to you more than the rest of the labels?
They just show a lot of interest and they're very nice to me, you know. They put up a lot of interviews too for the last album.
I tried, but I never got one.
Really?
Yeah, I wanted one really bad.
That's strange.
But this is why I've come tonight to show, you know, to see yourself and, you know.
I mean, I've never done so much press as I did on the last album.
Yeah.
The Mascot put up tons of things, and also they pay me all the time.
Yeah.
And they're doing the right thing, you know.
Do you think it's better to be on a small label than to do all these big labels? You're just like another number.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
That's why I left Sony, because I've been with them for a long time, and they were like old friends of mine. And it's hard to be on the same label as Bruce Springsteen and Michael Jackson. You know what I mean? I mean, it's like I'm not going to be able to compete with those guys. You know, really. You know.
Right.
Even though my stuff is much better, of course.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, come on, Bruce Springsteen is horrible.
Yeah. They call him the Godfather, but...
Yeah, I mean, how can you call him the boss?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a joke. I mean, he's been doing it for like 30 years, and he's only written like 2 good songs, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a disgrace, you know.
So what are you going to be doing now? When's the next album going to be out with solo on? Because you're with Dokken now. I mean,
next year.
How long are you going to be with Dokken for? This is just like the one album, or are you going to go back, or... What's Don said to you? Does he actually want you as a musician full time now, or? Well,
I just take one day at a time.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I just don't have any plans really. Today I'm in Dokken, and tomorrow I might do something else.
Yeah.
You know, who knows? But the main thing is my solo albums, though. You know, the Dokken thing. I like the guys, and I like to play this old classic Dokken songs. It's a lot of fun, you know. I mean, if you ask Reb, he would say the same thing, you know. It's a lot of fun on the guitar to play. The stuff that George wrote and everything, you know. And as well, now it's fun to play the new songs too from the new album too that we do live. Yeah. Which you're going to hear tonight.
You're not playing the heavy one though, the first song, are you?
Oh yes.
To Don. Are you playing it?
Yes.
No, he said he wasn't playing it. It's like, he said he didn't like it that much. That was it. He said he wasn't keen on the song.
That's the best song on the album.
That's what I think.
Easily,
it just comes
easily. And everybody that's heard it says that's the best song.
Yeah.
And I had to fight Don to put it on the album because it's my song.
Yeah. Because he told me that there was 3 songs that he didn't like that he took off the album that you're going to use on the next album. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly.
And they're going to be like heavy like that.
Exactly. They're very heavy. Very heavy. But Don, you know, he just didn't want to do anything heavy. I said, well, why am I here then?
Are you going to do a solo album with him again? Like, are you going to do another Don Dokken album in the future?
No.
You've got to get in the same lineup and...
No, that's not going to happen.
Right.
But really, I didn't really have so much input on this album now. I mean...
You just came and did the guitars.
Yeah, I did the guitars, you know. I wrote like 6 songs, and 4 of them ended up on the European version, and the other 2, which is going to be on the Japanese version, is a bonus tracks type of thing. But you know, he just didn't want to do something really heavy, and it was like I was bumming out, you know, because if you listen to the album, it's very soft.
You should have asked him to move to Sweden.
Yeah, exactly. Get the Viking power happening, you know.
Yeah.
Put on the helmet and everything, you know.
Do you actually wear that sort of stuff then when you're pissed? Do you actually when you're drunk, you put the helmet on and?
Oh yes, always. I'm a real Viking, you know, that's the way it is.
So what are you going to have in the lineup for your next album? And who's going to be singing? Who's going to be playing drums, bass?
I'm going to sing all of the stuff myself because I think I do a better job than anybody else.
Yeah,
I think, you know, like Gary Moore said so many times, you know, he'd bring in other singers like Glenn Hughes or whoever is going to be singing. You know, he's had also a bunch of singers, you know, different singers. But, you know, if they haven't written the stuff, they're not going to sing with the same kind of emotion, you know. Yeah. More like a hired job, you know. So I'm just going to do it all myself.
What about drums? Who's going to play drums? Is it Salmon right? Are you going to get Salmon back?
I haven't really decided yet. There is one guy in Sweden that is really, really good.
Who?
Örjan is his name.
What does he play for?
Well, he used to be in a band in the 80s called Hiroshima, from Sweden. It was like one of the poodle bands in the 80s, you know.
Right, yeah.
And he also have a radio show in Sweden, Dr. Rock.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you heard about that.
I think I've heard of it, yeah.
Yeah. And so that's another good thing. We play the album all the time, you know, on the radio. He plays the drums, but you know, that's not the main reason. But he's really, really good.
Yeah.
You know? And we get along really great. It's good chemistry, you know.
What about bass players?
Bass, I'm actually thinking about using Barry Sparks.
Right.
You know, like we have now, and we get along great, and he's really, really good. He can do real fast too. You know?
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, I saw him with Ingve a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So.
He's amazing. He's really good. So,
do you have a title then to this album, or any songs wrote or anything?
I have a bunch of songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't have a title yet. No. But it's going to be, you know, it's going to be
John Norum Attack or something.
Yeah, something like that. We'll see.
Yeah.
The title, I will come up with something that's not so important right now, but I will come up with a good title.
Is it going to be longer than the Don Dokken album? Because it's only like 36 minutes.
Oh yes. Yeah, that's just that's here in Europe it's songs, in Japan it's 13 songs.
Yeah. I couldn't believe how short it was. It was like, holy shit.
I know.
And people are going to spend £15 on a 30-minute album. It was like,
I know.
It might as well be a hardcore album or something.
Yeah.
Death metal.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, I had nothing to do with the production, nothing. You know, he produced it, and you know, he feel a lot of pressure from the record companies. You got to come up with it now. You know, we have this deadline, and this date has to be done and stuff. And it wasn't done.
Are you happy with the production then? Because he's like 70% happy, 30%.
No, I'm not happy with it.
No.
I don't like the mixes.
Why do the bands get pressured into like getting the album out? Why can't the record companies just leave you to go with the flow? At the end of the day, it's your music. The fans are going to buy it.
I know, that's how I am.
Yeah.
But that's not the way Don is.
Right.
You know, he's more business oriented.
Right.
You know? He's like, we got to put the product out now. You know.
Right.
I can't wait any longer. Yeah, but we don't have the material yet. We haven't done the demos yet. We haven't even rehearsed.
Right.
We never rehearsed for the album. Nothing. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter. It has to be done now. It's like, I don't think like that.
Right.
I think I'm a lot more artistic in my way. I don't care when it comes out, as long as it's good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't understand how he's thinking. It's just totally opposite to how I think. You know?
So you two clash then, basically. You have like heads clash all the time.
Yeah, we argue a lot.
Any fist fights?
No. But we argue a lot.
With guitar?
But we argue a lot in the studio.
Right.
Really, he listened to what I had to say, but then he went and did whatever he wanted anyway, So yeah, I'm just not very much involved. So
basically you're just like the hired guy at the moment, and you're just going to go back to your own career and
I'm just happy
with what you can do.
I'm just a hired gun.
Yes.
Yeah.
So next, your album's going to be out next year then? Your solo album?
When?
Next year, did you say?
Yeah, next year.
Any idea?
I'm going to try and have it out by February, March next year.
If you can give me a mention, that make me so happy. To see Friday the 13th on there. You know?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Great. Well, John, I'd like to thank you for doing this interview.
No problem.
Guitar God of Sweden.
Yes.
Do you have anything to say to the readers and fans before we finish?
Well, keep on rocking with Dokken, I guess. Just go get the new album. I hope they like it. At least I like the heavy stuff, at least, you know. But I just look forward to going in the studio soon and do my own record, and just hope to see you on the road soon, shortly.
All right, thank you, John.
Thank you.